And by the way, we've seen that depending on your size, your stage, there's different earnings. In the US, just to give you an idea, today there's 32 million companies, 96% to less than $1 million. And by the way, I'm from Mexico originally. When I see the US, it was like, wow, the country with the biggest companies and the Apples and the big banks and everything. And then when you're inside, you see that it's done of small business. We all are the small business. We're all the mid-sized business that really make the economy. So 95%, 96 have less than $1 million, just 0.04 make more than 10 million, and 0.06 over 50 million of yearly revenue a year. By the way, I have the numbers in Mexico and India, very similar percentage, much smaller numbers, but very, very similar percentage. So as we could see in this chart, each stage has its complexity, and you have to go through a valley of death between one stage and the other. So let me get deeper into this. Because each stage requires different learning and different knowledge and different tools. We've got to really understand what's the right tools for the right stage and what you have to do in each of the stages to take your company to the next level. And most importantly, what do you have to learn to be able to run your company at the next level? So let me walk you through the 5 stages and what do you have to do in each of the stages. And by the way, what divides the stages is the number of employees. Why? That's what creates the drama in the company, the complexity. And I'm going to go through their focus, their priority, their barrier, their ability or the ability you have to develop. And then based on scaling up, what's the most important decision you have to take in each of the stages. All right, so stage 1 to 5 employees. What's your focus? You have to do product development and market fit, and what we call product market fit. Hey, do you offer and are you able to produce efficiently a service or a product that your client wants to buy? Yes, congrats. If not, you cannot go to second stage. That's the most important thing, that you prove that you could come to the market and produce a service or a product that the market wants to buy, and you could produce it in a way that there's enough demand to be able to sell that service. And of course, you have to validate the business model. You have a business model, a business plan with a lot of assumptions. You have to prove your assumptions when you get to stage 1. And of course, you have to understand the market dynamics, how the other competitors compete, how they charge, how your clients want to pay you, and the rest. And that's going to help you eliminate or validate your assumptions and then be able to redo your business plan based on strategy. That's the decision you have to get right. In stage 1, you have to rewrite your business plan after you have validated your assumptions. And the tool that is going to help you to be this the best is marketing. You have to be able to communicate to your client what you want to sell to your client, and your client has to be able to tell you. You have to hear what they really want, how much you're willing to pay, what features they want, and the rest. So this is a stage that you have an idea, you have a concept, you have a business plan, and you have to validate it and make sure it works. And of course, you have to do a lot of adjustments to get it right. Once you get it right, then you can go to second stage. And by the way, here the entrepreneur, as you could see, is everything. Is the center of everything. They do everything. They sell, buy, produce, clean the restrooms. You do everything. Stage 2. Now you start becoming a leader. Now you have to start building a team. More or less 6 to 15 employees. And your focus is 100% on sales. Why? Your expenses are growing like this, and then your income is up and down, right? You have fixed expense and going up, and your income is unstable. You have to stabilize revenue. Here, what I believe is the most important is you have to build a predictable sales system that anyone in your company could run, and you could produce sales consistently. So here, you have to focus on really building, understanding how to do sales, building a playbook, all of that, so your team could run your playbook and be able to produce sales. Barrier, leadership. Now you have to start leading a team. Before you're kind of doing everything, you're taking every decision. Now you have to be a leader and really start delegating. And for that, you have to start building systems and processes. Hey, for us to do this, this is the way you do it. And you have to start teaching people, writing SOPs and the rest, or checklists at least, that you could kind of delegate the way you do things. And then the decisions going back to scaling up are team and cash. Why? People is in the stage 1, you hire a lot of generalists. Whoever allowed to work for you, you hire them. Someone comes and said, I'm willing to work for you. And you're so excited, you check they have a pulse. Yes, you hire them. Why? Because really, whoever is even willing to risk it with you and trust you in your new endeavor, you're so excited that you hire the person. In stage 2, you're understanding a little bit more of your business, and you have to start hiring specialists. Well, now I understand that I need someone that is very, very good doing this. You have to reanalyze your team and go from a generalist to specialist. And then, of course, cash. You have a lot of expenses and growing up very, very fast, and you have unstable cash flow. So this is the stage that you have the most cash flow issues because you still don't have a predictable sales model or predictable sales system that will give you that cash flow, that oxygen for your business. Then you get stage 3. And stage 3 is what we call the valley of death. That's when you're coming from an adolescent company to be an adult. And this stage, you get the most change on the company. You go from a company that really everyone reports to you one-on-one, and you have kind of a unstructured or org chart or company, and now you start professionalizing operation. And the focus there is to be different. You have to bring some innovation. You could not scale doing everything exactly as your competitors. If you do everything like your competitors, why are you expecting different results? So if you really want to scale and really grow your company, you have to be different. Your sales process, your messaging, your product, your technology, some innovation they have to bring to the market. Priority, efficient execution. In stage 1 and 2, you know how to execute, but now you have to be more efficient with that execution. So now you have to start being more efficient so you could start getting your margins growing and being, of course, more profitable. Your barrier, operational capability and replicability of your business. Your systems are done very manual, and you start getting speed or volume into your systems, and they start breaking down. So it's really, really important that you start building operational capabilities in your business. The ability you have to develop as a leader is coordination. Now you have to coordinate the team. Now you have a team of teams. You become a leader of leaders. You start delegating to different teams and coordinating them to work better together. And then it's all about execution. At this stage, you have to be very, very focused, very, very aligned in whatever works. You already tried a lot of things on stage 1 and 2. Now you know what works. Now you have to execute that strategy efficiently. That's why efficient execution. All right, stage 4. Now you're a scale-up. Now you're scaling 81 to 250 employees, more or less. And the focus is to define the industry. All the innovation that you were trying to bring, now they start copying your innovation. Now they start attacking you directly. Now they start seeing what you're going to do and they start copying. So now you're a competitor that is worth to compete. Before, you're too small to even care. The big corporations, they don't care. They say, no, that's too small, it's never going to get it. Now when you cross the 100, 200 employees, now you say, wow, this one already got it. Now I have to go and compete against you. Your priority is to scale, really start scaling and get your margins much, much bigger. Your barrier is infrastructure. All the systems and processes that you build in the past stage, now you have to invest in infrastructure. You invest in SAP and all the technology to really have all your systems, everything on the same database and everything together. As an example, in the Growth Institute, we have a lot of sales team. Everyone had their data in their phones and their computers. No, now we have HubSpot. They have to report in HubSpot all the data of the clients. And you have to professionalize operations significantly on stage 3. Ability, alignment, and simplification. That's exactly what scaling up does. The most important on stage 3. And you continue with execution. You have to continue executing. Don't get distracted, and make sure you're executing more efficiently than you were before. And then stage 4, you become a satellite around the organization. Now you have a general manager. Sorry, I have a general director. It's general manager or a C or a president run your company. And then you're really kind of a corporation. You start dominating your industry. You start talking about market share. I have 3% of the market share or 2% of the market share. Now I want to grow the market share. So the more you grow, you're gaining market share from someone else. What's the priority? To reinvent yourself continuously. Why? You get into a comfort zone, and the teams that you have, they say, hey, what we do is working. Don't change it. It's working really well. We don't need innovation. And you start getting into this comfort zone that keeps the company alive. These systems are processes to keep the company alive. But those same systems and processes don't allow you to innovate, don't allow you to change. So your job as a leader is to bring that innovation to the company. And you have to get your team in change management for them to adapt and continuously learn. So really, really important. You have to understand the stages and bring the learning that your team needs in each of the stages to be able to take your team to the next level.